Did you see over the weekend? This was incredible what happened in New Jersey, a blue state, mind you, over at the Jersey Shore. I think Drew has some pictures. This is incredible. Look at that crowd, ladies and gentlemen. This was Donald Trump at the Jersey Shore over the weekend. You know, he finished up in the courthouse and then went to the beach there to give his speech. And there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of people. I don't know what the final number is. We've heard different quotes. Some have said 80,000. I don't know, but that's a lot of people. If you ask me, right, you look at that, that is quite a crowd. Just incredible. Showing up for the former president of the United States in a blue state in New Jersey on Mother's Day. Like, who does that on Mother's Day weekend? Like, don't you have better things to do? No, honey, I want to go see Trump speak at the Jersey Shore. I mean, that is what they're doing. So think about that. It's truly pretty incredible. I don't think that Biden could have done that. You think Biden could have done that? I'm guessing not. But people are out there supporting him. And this support is growing and growing and growing. And as I said, the demographics are shifting. Consider this former NFL legend. I want you to see him declaring his support for Donald Trump.
I just want to say, I grew up a Democrat, and I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here. I'll tell you what, he will not have to worry about nobody in my family ever vote for a Democrat again, okay?
Don't you just love that guy? Don't you just love that guy? I tell you, it has been a very exciting day. You guys, not one person left here. You're still here yelling and screaming. So, my word is, Wildwood, are you in the house? I can't hear you. Wildwood, are you in the house?
It's pretty amazing, right? So Lawrence Taylor, NFL legend, coming out for Trump there, and Wildwood, New Jersey, going absolutely crazy. Again, you've seen so many Black entertainers, musicians, artists, athletes that have said enough with this, right? You know, the policy's not working, so let's change. Let's do something different. And they're going with Trump. Think about that. The demos are shifting in real time. I don't think the Democrats know what to do about this. And by the way, making it extraordinarily difficult is everything that's happening overseas, right? And everything that's happening here on college campuses. So you get all the lefty kids out there with their tents and shutting down universities. You can't have a graduation these days at Columbia University. Jerry Seinfeld gets booed off of Duke, right? You know, they're having this big protest there because these kids, these super lefties, are saying, whoa, we have to stand up to Israel, etc., our longtime ally. And so then there's Joe Biden, who historically has always stood with Israel, now doesn't know what to do because, again, his base is deteriorating. His base is against him. And it's going to hurt him in places like Michigan. It's going to hurt him in places like Minnesota. Let me tell you, it's going to hurt him everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I'd even dare to suggest it's going to hurt him in some blue states like New York, like New Jersey, even New Hampshire, which has recently been leaning blue thanks to all the Massachusetts folks moving up into live free or die territory because, you know, we have no taxes, zero income tax, zero sales tax, and everybody likes the sound of it. Hopefully they don't bring their high taxes with them. But anyway, you see what's going on? You have this sort of renaissance happening in conservative thought. Think of how exciting that is because people want to have a bigger stake in things. A bigger stake in their future. And the policy that's out there right now, it's not very good. I mean, I talk about inflation a lot. It's the reason. Do we have this through that great chart that I love? Because you can see the difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Joe Biden trying to say, oh, I inherited 9% inflation. It's like, no, buddy, you didn't. This chart's good. We get another one that's really good too. I mean, here's the difference, right? Like Energy prices up nearly 40%. Gasoline up nearly 50%, 47.8%. I keep saying 40 and I should be saying nearly 50 because, by the way, I think this chart came out about a month ago and prices have continued to go up since then. You've got groceries. Overall, they're now up some 30%. Eggs up 50%. Guys, this is not good. This is not good. And yet Joe Biden tries to tell us that, oh, inflation was 9% when I came into office. Well, no, it wasn't. Here we go. Take a look at this. Unbelievable stuff. Look at the red. That's inflation under Donald Trump. Wow, right? Take a look at the blue. Take a look at the blue. You see how much it spiked? And even though, yes, it's come down since it spiked when he first came in, it's come down to a level that is still way higher than when we had Donald Trump in office. And so when the New York Times tries to tell you, oh, you know what, wages are going up. No, ask them whether real wages are going up, real wages adjusted for inflation, because they're not. And that's the problem. That's why RFK told Ben Shapiro the other day, you know what, the Federal Reserve is a criminal enterprise because they are robbing you of your money. Well, not just the Fed, you've got policy idiots in charge that are causing more and more inflation. And so because of this idiotic policy that enables these money printers to just keep going and going and going, we're in a tougher spot. It's one of the reasons why I'm really proud to have partnered with American Heart for Gold. These guys are wonderful. I just spoke to the CEO the other day. He's going to be on the show this week. I'm so excited to bring that to you. Max Baker, forgive me. He's the president of the company, American Heart for Gold. Wonderful company, super high rated. And I'm proud of this partnership, mostly proud too, because it's good for you guys. If you buy gold with them, you can get up to $15,000 in silver if you use my name. So make sure you use my name, Trish, Trish. You can actually just text Trish to 65532. Do that right now. Text Trish to 65532 or call them 1-844-495-1115. They're great. They're not too aggressive. They'll walk you through it all. They'll help explain it all. You can get the real stuff delivered to your house. You can keep it in storage with them and they'll buy it back as well. That's one of the other great things. They'll buy it back at price. So 1-844-495-1115. Get up to $15,000 in free silver. By the way, silver's been on a tear. I've been watching silver and this is incredible. Rob and I were just writing about this the other day at 76 because silver as well. Sure, I know everybody wants gold, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, central banks all around the world that are saying, ooh, this U.S. dollar is getting kind of scary, even though, ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. dollar is still the prettiest girl at the dance because the ECB's cutting and cutting and cutting, and people are like, oh, wow, the dollar, it seems to be hanging on in comparison. But, in comparison to what? That's what gets me. And Joe Biden's like, oh, the U.S. is growing and we're growing more than, and we're the strongest economy in the world. Well, duh. What do you think we should be? I mean, we are the United States of America. We are still the hegemonic power of the world. Therefore, yes, as the world's reserve currency, we should be the strongest. But because of these flaws, because of all this money printing, people are increasingly turning to gold and silver. And this is why I encourage you, as part of diversification. I mean, just, everybody has sort of their different level of tolerance for these things. And I encourage you to figure out what yours is. I'm not your financial advisor, but I do think that it's a meaningful part of any portfolio in some small way, right? You want to make sure you're diversified. In light of all this inflation,